Name of subject internal combustion engines. Name of chapter SI engines fuel supply system, ignition system, combustion. Name of topic electronic ignition system. Contents electronic ignition system. So dear friends, in the last few videos we already discussed about the different types of ignition systems like battery ignition system, magneto ignition system. Now in this video we are going to understand the one another very famous type of ignition system, and that is nothing but called as the electronic ignition system. So why it is called the electronic ignition system? Because we are using the electronic circuit or the electronic kit during the ignition system. That's why it is called the electronic ignition system. So this electronic ignition system is the type of ignition system that uses the electronic circuit, usually by the transistors controlled by the sensor to generate the electronic pulses which turns into generate better spark that can even burn the lean mixture and provide better economy and lower emission. The clean burning of air and fuel mixture makes the system less polluting. So this is the basic requirement of every air fuel mixture. If it burns clean, then there should be a very less pollution. So does not overload the engine combustion. The electronic ignition system works electrically without power from the crankshaft, and as a result it does not overload the performance of the engine. So because of this all reason, the electronic ignition system nowadays are very popular. So this is about the electronic ignition system construction. So with the help of this diagram, we'll understand the working of electronic ignition system. So this diagram is very similar kind of a diagram which we had in the case of the battery ignition system. Again, the battery is here, the ignition coil is there, this is the spark plug distributor system, and here are the number of spark plug if the 4-cylinder engine is there, and these are the 4 spark plug of each and every engine cylinder. So if you observe this particular diagram, the basic difference between the battery ignition and the electronic ignition is what? Here is no any kind of a contact breaker system is there. So in the case of electronic ignition, the contact breaker system is replaced by the armature, rotating armature system. So whatever work has been done by the contact breaker, and that things will be happen in the case of this particular electronic ignition system with the help of the armature. Again, there is no any kind of a capacitor or condenser is located over here. So that all things will be done with the help of the armature itself. So initially again, as this ignition switch is there, so as we will rotate the ignition switch, the current will supply from the positive terminal of the battery to the electronic ignition module. So electronic ignition module is one kind of electronic circuit which regulates the flow of current from the battery according to need of the engine itself. So then that particular supply of current in the form of voltage inside the ignition coil where primary winding is there. So primary winding is having the less turn, and as it enters in the primary winding, then its voltage will be boosted up near about 250 to 350 volt itself from the 12 volt which is coming from the battery. Then after that 250 to 350 volts current supplied to the electronic ignition module once again, and through the electronic ignition module that will come over here, and as the magnet is continuously rotating, it creates that magnetic field, and as the magnet rotate and this point comes in front of this particular end, that time there will be a some extra charging or extra generation of voltage will be there, and that high voltage current again resend back through the electronic ignition module to the secondary winding. As it comes in the secondary winding, again a huge amount of voltage boost up will be there near about 22 to 30,000, and that high boost voltage boosted electricity or that particular current we can say supplied to the rotor. And as the rotor rotates, this distributor distribute the amount of current in the form of voltage to each and every spark plug as per the requirement, as per the firing order of the engine. So this is the simple working of electronic ignition system. So with the help of one animation, with the help of one video, we will get understand the things thoroughly. So please watch the video. So I hope you understood in well manner the electronic ignition system with the help of this particular video. So uh, in the next video, we are going to understand the different types of the electronic ignition system. Those are capacitor discharge ignition system, transistor system, piezoelectric ignition system, and the Texaco ignition system. We have to discuss these all things in the upcoming videos. So thank you so much for watching this session. Thanks a lot.